Hey guys, welcome back to the incentive. I'm so excited for the message this week. We are going to be talking about people. We're going to start with ourselves. It is so much that we can learn from ourselves and learn from each other. We're starting with talking about ourselves today, okay? Because we can't start talking about other people before we come to terms with who we are and what we need to do to change on the inside. So the scripture that I pulled from is Matthew 7:3-5, and I'm just going to read it from the NIV version. So it reads, "Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, 'Let me take the speck out of your eye,' when all the time there is a plank in your own eye? You hypocrite! First take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye." Number one, we can't look at somebody else and try to pick out their flaws and try to judge them when we're flawed as well. Nobody is perfect. So we are not perfect, and we should never expect others to be. So in the third verse, he said, "Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the one in your own eye?" And that "pay no attention" just really stuck out to me, because it's like you have no idea that you need to self-reflect, because you are concentrated on the speck of dust in somebody else's eye that you don't even know that you got a speck of dust in your eye. So you gotta look in the mirror to find the speck in your own eye before you can even try to look in somebody else's eye. And going forward from that, you can't try to fix others' flaws but not fix your own. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. And in you trying to get the speck out of someone else's eye, you can't even do so because you can't even see clearly yourself. So how do you expect to try to find the flaw and change the flaw in somebody else, but you got a speck in your eye? You can't even see clearly. It turns into the blind leading the blind. So now it's the blind leading the blind, and Matthew 15:14 says both will fall into a ditch. The blind leading the blind, both of y'all gonna fall into the ditch. So instead of concentrating on what they got going on or what they doing, or just how they're living their life according to what God has called them to do. You don't know these people. I don't know these people. I'm not in their life. I don't know what God is telling them. So who am I to judge them? I don't know what their testimony is going to look like. So who am I to judge them? When I need to be reflecting on myself. Okay, what is God telling me? What do I need to be doing? What do I need to be changing? What speck of dust is in my eye that I need to take out? Caring can go a long way. You can care about somebody so much that you get so invested in their change. We have to be careful in our caring. We have to be careful in our caring. So we can't let caring for others consume us so much that we forget to care about ourselves. Just like he said, how can you try to take the speck of dust out of the man's eye when you're paying no attention to the speck of dust that you have in your eye? So we have to be careful in our caring sometimes to not be consumed in it. The overall message of this Incentive Sunday is to really not be a hypocrite. Y'all, we cannot be a hypocrite. We cannot judge others. That is not what God put us on this earth to do. It's 8 billion people on this world, and do you think that God gave us all the same assignment? No. Do you think that God made us all perfect? No. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect, so we cannot conduct ourselves in a way that condemns others for simply living their life. Matthew 7:5, he says, maybe if you take the plank out of your eye, then you'll be able to take the plank out of your brother's eye. So sometimes we have to take a step back and reflect on ourselves first before we can move forward and try to change somebody else. Okay? So, your walk with God is your walk with God. That does not mean don't pray for others. It doesn't mean don't help others. It means don't try to change anyone, because only God can do that. Accept people for who they are. Love them for who they are. All that we can do is intercede in prayer and let God do the rest. It is not your job to change anyone. It is not your job to condemn anyone. And you looking in the mirror and you working on your flaws and you taking care of yourself and you paying attention to what you need to do, you never know who's watching you. You never know who's inspired by you. We'll get more into it in this series, because I really do think I want to go into like people, because we deal with people every day. We deal with people every day, y'all. Every day we deal with people, and it's so many different types of people, so many different characteristics, so many different personalities. So we have to be careful as children of God to make sure that we are operating in a way that is out of love, because at the end of the day, love covers a multitude of sins. And we cannot be out here condemning people. We cannot be out here judging people. We cannot be out here telling. Now, granted, we do need accountability partners. We do need people that help us to, all right, you falling off, you slipping, like, need to get back right, or you're not supposed to be doing that. Like, that's okay. But when you are trying to change someone, that's when it becomes not okay. We can help each other. We can help each other. We can influence each other, but we cannot change each other. We don't have the power to do so. Only God has the power to do so. Yeah, we cannot be out here being hypocrites, y'all, because we sin. We are sinners. We are sinners. We are not perfect. And how dare I judge somebody for what they're doing when I'm not perfect? I'm not a saint. I'm literally not the same. Like, I sin too. I make mistakes. I do things. So who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? That's all for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to sign up for the Remind 101 with the incentive. All you have to do is text at the incent, the @ sign, at the incent, to 81010. That's all. And let's not be hypocrites this week, guys. Oh, well, let's not be hypocrites ever. But especially this week, let's try to make a start to change how we view others and to move with love. To move with love and pure influence. All right. Love you guys. See you next Sunday.